Marhaba, and welcome to the Matrix Green Pill, where real people connect.
Hello and welcome back to the Matrix Green Pill podcast. I'm Hilmarie Hutchison, and today I'm excited to welcome not just one, but two lovely guests on our show. Pritha and Pragya Sood, the visionary sisters behind Mudra. Rooted in the Himalayas, these entrepreneurs blend their upbringing with a love of nature to their wellness brand inspired by Ayurveda. There's a lot to uncover, so let's jump right in. Pritha and Pragya, welcome and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
So to start off, could you please tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Absolutely. So let me begin with this. Hi, everyone. My name is Pritha. We're actually both sisters. I'm just going to introduce myself and I'll let Pragya talk about herself later. So we're both sisters and we were blessed to be born in this beautiful Himalayan town called Shimla in India. I spent my early years there until I was about 14 years of age. And then we moved to this glamorous city of Dubai that we are here currently. Fast forward, I completed my high school, graduation, post-graduation, and eventually started my career with Emirates Airline. You know, the airline I had admired since I was a kid. And it actually turned out to be an incredibly fulfilling experience. I've worn many hats there: business development, international markets, project management, you name it. Got to travel the world, worked with amazing colleagues, and after a decade of incredible learning and experience, it was time to bid farewell to this phenomenal corporate career and bring Mudra to life. This is more or less me in a nutshell. And Pragya, over to you.
Thanks. I'm Pragya. Hi, everyone. If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I'm an avid lover of life's simple pleasures. Whether it's spending quality time with my furry friends, exploring new destinations, or immersing myself in nature and mountains. From career perspective, I'm a self-proclaimed marketing junkie and now a very happy entrepreneur. I would say that I thrive on creativity and thrive even more when I'm thinking outside the box. And through Mudra, I really want to bring my personal innovative ideas to life.
Thank you very much for introducing yourselves. You both mentioned the Himalayas as a significant influence in your journey. Can you share a specific memory or moment from your time there that stands out as a turning point in your approach to wellness and Ayurveda?
Yes, actually, definitely. We can say that our inspiration actually comes from these cherished memories of our childhood spent at our family house in the Himalayas. I still remember how we used to accompany our grandmom on journeys to collect the freshest Himalayan herbs, and she would impart her wisdom about their properties and their benefits for both skin and internal health. So those moments really, shaped by the guidance of our grandmom and dad, instilled in us a profound respect for everything natural. And now it's fair to say that this early foundation ultimately guided us into this captivating world of Ayurveda. As we continued to grow, we couldn't help but notice a global return to wellness trends deeply rooted in the science. Practices such as hair oiling ritual, yoga, turmeric lattes, oil pulling have all resurfaced, showcasing the enduring wisdom of Ayurveda. So this definitely was a turning point to our overall approach to wellness.
Well, it was mostly the same. So we've grown up together, same house, and basically this entire concept of Ayurveda, it started from the Himalayas. Our grandparents, our grandmother has played a very important role. And I would particularly like to mention that even our father, he's been a guiding light. So he's like a walking encyclopedia of herbal wisdom. Thanks to him, we've been living this lifestyle since we were kids. It's kind of been a part of our family's DNA, Just to tell you, whenever we felt sick, whether it was a nasty cold, flu, upset stomach, anything, medications were never our first resort. And honestly, I can literally count on my fingers the number of times I've taken something like Panadol in my entire life. We always turned to homemade herbal concoctions. I think it's his teachings and everything, the simple, very, very simple lifestyle that we led back home is what kind of nurtured this entire journey.
I love that. That's amazing to rather be looking at natural and herbal remedies than taking drugs or anything stronger than that. Let's talk a little bit about Mudra. Can you tell our audience what Mudra is and unpack it a little bit for us?
with Mudra, our goal is to really highlight the Ayurvedic living. It's a very holistic approach to well-being that combines rituals, herbs, yoga, meditation, and then they all kind of work together for a balanced body, mind, and soul. You see, Ayurveda as a concept, it recognizes that every individual is unique. So the very first step for any wellness journey is to understand your unique mind-body constitution, your dosha. And that's the kind of perspective that we bring with Mudra. So we're not just talking about products, but it's also about a deep understanding of yourself. Pragya, do you want to talk more about this? What are our offerings?
Yes. So when we were just starting out with Mudra, we knew that it's just not going to be another e-commerce platform. But in fact, it'll be the Middle East's first destination for luxe, consciously crafted and 100% natural Ayurveda-inspired brands from around the world. We launched Mudra with a very clear vision, we would say, just to revolutionize the beauty and wellness industry by reshaping self-care through a holistic wellness approach. And this commitment is something that we plan to uphold for years to come.
Okay, so Mudra, it's both products and services, or is it only products online?
It is both. We have got a lot of brands on board, and right now we are selling products, but our 5-year plan is to get Ayurveda services like Ayurveda massages, spas, and treatments also as part of Mudra offerings. But right now, we are currently just offering products which includes your skincare, superfoods, and wellness essentials.
In addition to products, we offer an entire experience. Yeah. So it's not just about going online and selecting products for yourself. It's an entire experience. What we really encourage is people to come online and help themselves identify their unique self, their unique mind, body constitution. That's your dosha. So you take a dosha quiz, you really understand what is your unique mind-body constitution. We send them recommendations, rituals, daily practices, anything that they can follow to create a balance in their life, create a balance between mind, body, and soul. And then we give them product recommendation because it's not one size fits all approach. So every individual requires different products. Every individual requires to live in a certain way. So, for instance, to give you an example, these trendy detox juices that we have, well, let's just say it does not work for everyone the same way. So it will work wonders for someone, but it may not work that effectively for someone else. There are people who feel super cold in a chilly environment, but then there are others who don't even feel the need to layer themselves up with a jacket. That's all because they have different unique composition, mind, body constitution, or dosha as we talk in Ayurveda. So we help these people identify their unique self and then accordingly recommend products, rituals, practices that they can incorporate to balance it all out. It's a holistic wellness journey that we are offering through Mudra.
You are providing the customized solutions to each person's unique requirements. And it's not just in products, but also in recommending the rituals that would benefit them.
Absolutely.
You mentioned Mudra's connection to Ayurveda. Can you explain to our audience what Ayurveda is and why it's important in today's world?
So Ayurveda, to simply put it together, it is the science of life. So when we break down the term Ayu, it translates to life, and Veda, it signifies the science. So this 5,000-year-old wisdom, it basically originated in India and is built upon ancient time-tested principles aimed at nurturing your holistic well-being. So the beauty of this science is that it recognizes that each person is born with a unique body-mind constitution, like Pritha mentioned, known as Prakriti in Sanskrit. And it's a distinct blend of physical and psychological traits that shape how an individual will function and interacts with the world. So now Ayurveda has been around for thousands of years and it's gaining so much recognition, relevance worldwide today. That's because its appeal lies in its timelessness and adaptability. Even in this modern age, it remains one of the most recognized, relevant, and essential practices globally. I would say the reason is very simple because Ayurveda goes beyond herbal remedies. It guides you through rituals, teachings, and experiences to help you discover and heal yourself.
Both of you are, of course, very much into Ayurveda and into this journey. Can you maybe give our listeners a glimpse into your personal daily self-care rituals that you follow, how these rituals have evolved since the inception of Mudra?
There are few things that we've been taught and we've been practicing from a very young age, and it has really helped us. So for instance, let me tell you, so I generally kickstart my day with a glass of warm water that kind of helps in cleansing the digestive tract. Then comes oil pulling and tongue scraping. And this is all before I even think about brushing my teeth. And don't get me wrong, it has nothing to do with hygiene. It's actually the right way to follow as per Ayurveda. And then comes a 30-minute workout, which is non-negotiable. I mean, it could be a run, gym session, yoga practice. The key is to really get moving. Then in terms of if I have to talk about my, say, morning skincare routine, it's very, very simple. It's just 4-step. Cleanse, serum, water-based moisturizer, and obviously living in Dubai, it has to be a sunscreen. So that's about that. And oh yes, this one's my favorite. I think I shouldn't miss out on this. This is for all the coffee lovers out there, and I love my coffee, but it's dry and its astringent properties does not go very well with my gut. So what I do is, it's just about adding a small teaspoon of ghee. It's a very healthy fat. It really helps in balancing acidic nature of coffee. And it has helped me immensely and a few gut issues that I had dealt with in the past. Lastly, I unwind my day with a nice self-foot massage before bedtime, and it really helps release all that pent-up stress. That's more or less, in a nutshell, the self-care rituals that I follow, and something that I have introduced after the inception of Mudra, and that's because of all the mental pressure and constant thinking that comes with being an entrepreneur. And that has really been a game changer for me, is practicing breath work. So I set aside 15 minutes every single day for my breath works. It really feels like I'm hitting that reset button for my mind. It helps me break free from all that constant mental chatter. That has been a game changer for me, really. This is more or less what I do in a nutshell for my self-care.
That sounds amazing. Wow. What about Pragya?
For me also, it's really like very simple things. I would say like just going for a long walk with my dog. That's something that I do every evening, no matter what. And then maybe listening to my favorite music albums. Those small things really help me to get the pressure off my mind. And then one of the things that I have started to practice once I left my corporate job and started Mudra was a self-care ritual. I personally found this very powerful, is gratitude journaling. It's a very simple practice, like I said, where you take a few minutes each day just to write down things you're grateful for in your life right before bedtime. And it has personally helped me a lot. It has helped me to shift my focus towards the positive aspects of my life, because by actively acknowledging and, appreciating what you have, you generally tend to cultivate a more optimistic outlook. And it's a great way to let go worries and focus on the present moment. So I've personally found that very powerful. And then treating myself for a spa or a massage, those things really help me to take my mental pressure off and just enjoy each day.
Again, fantastic. Some really good rituals that you follow. Pragya, as a creative entrepreneur, how do you infuse your passion for creativity into the branding and identity of Mudra?
When we embarked on the journey of creating Mudra, we really asked ourselves some very fundamental questions. Why are we venturing into this brand? What unique offerings can we provide to our customers that are not yet available in this market? What message and knowledge do we want to convey through this brand in the Middle East? And how will it benefit our end customers? And these really, if you think about it, are the building blocks of any strong brand, and while establishing its identity. And having clear answers to them is essential for any brand success. And so for Mudra also, once we had all these answers in place, our mission became about educating and informing our customers that Mudra is here for them. It's the first destination, first online retailer for Ayurvedic-inspired brands, skincare from superfoods and wellness, all under one roof. And that's our mission, just to convey that and get that offerings here in the Middle East.
Now, Pritha, you mentioned your career in tourism and aviation. So you made like a remarkable shift out of that into working with Mudra and this journey with Ayurveda. What challenges did you face during this transition, and what advice would you have for individuals looking to make a similar career shift?
Indeed was a big shift, and I think I'll be lying if I say it wasn't a big deal, because these two areas are completely different and not related from each other. So you see, Ayurveda as a subject requires deep understanding. The first thing for me was to really delve into books and courses on this subject, and then actually came the real challenge, figuring out the A to Z of entrepreneurship. Let me tell you, it's a whole different ball game from the corporate world. So you're expected to be a jack of all trades, making critical decisions left, right, and center. But here's the truth. You cannot possibly know it all. And of course, I think my corporate experience, along with Pragya's marketing experience, it actually definitely helped us a great deal. It was also a very steep learning curve for us. So for instance, tackling everything from, say, legal regulations to business setup, funding, tech, inventory, and of course, crafting exceptional customer experience. All of this was very new to us in its own different ways. And I won't sugarcoat it. It still gets pretty overwhelming at times. But I think the key is to really keep pushing forward. My advice to anyone who's considering a career change, I think the first and foremost is to be absolutely certain about your decision, as it can get daunting. Understand that every change actually brings both opportunities and a lot of challenges. So I would say, one, stay open to learning and new experiences. Listen to other stories. There will be a lot of people who would give you free advices, but trust yourself to make the informed decision, and you're allowed to make mistakes. Do not aim to master everything. This is something that I have learned the hard way, because you'll discover something new every single day. Then three, be prepared for setbacks and failures. And they are actually valuable teachers. And I think this is something that we learn from day one since school as we grow up. Setbacks and failures are actually, I think, building blocks or steps towards reaching your destination. Lastly, do not ever give up. You might be closer to your destination than you think. All you need to do is just keep moving forward.
Some excellent advice. Thank you very much for that. Now, sort of a similar question, Pragya. You mentioned steering your own business as a lifelong dream. What advice would you have for aspiring entrepreneurs who are also seeking to follow their passion and dreams?
Steering my own business has indeed been a lifelong dream. And I'm so grateful, for the journey that brought me here. To aspiring entrepreneurs who share a similar passion and dream, I would offer a few pieces of advice. Firstly, know your why. Start by understanding why you want to be an entrepreneur and what drives your passion really. Your why will be your anchor during the ups and downs of business ownership. Trust me. And then secondly, embrace continuous learning. I can say that entrepreneurship is a journey of constant growth and learning. We should always stay curious and be open to acquiring new skills and knowledge. Thirdly, don't fear failure. See it as a valuable learning experience. You can learn from your mistakes, adapt, and keep moving forward. There's always a way out. And lastly, I would say take calculated risks and build a very strong network. Surround yourself with the supportive network of like-minded individuals. It really helps emotionally and mentally.
Excellent. Again, some excellent tips and suggestions there. Thank you very much for sharing that. Now we've come to the segment of our show where I'll ask you some rapid fire questions, our version of a game show. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Pritha, can you share one basic Ayurvedic principle that people should incorporate in their daily lives?
Start your day with the sun. Just follow the circadian rhythm. Wake up 45 to 60 minutes before sunrise. Eat, have your breakfast, lunch, dinner with the sun, and then wind up by 9:30, 10. Go to bed. Just follow the circadian rhythm and you're good.
I love that. And Pragya, what is your top productivity hack from your corporate days?
It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to take some time off and come refreshed and start again. It's okay to take breaks, I would say. Don't feel guilty to take breaks.
And Pritha, what is your favorite Ayurvedic skincare ingredient for a quick glow?
Turmeric, that is. You can use it in your masks, apply it as a face mask. You can have your turmeric lattes or turmeric milk just before you go to bed. It will help you nourish internally. So it's an ingredient you can apply internally and externally, and it will help you great deal.
Now, this question for both of you, but let's start with Pritha. What is one thing you do every day, no matter how busy you are?
My friends and family, everyone who knows me, they know that I carry this small bottle of fennel seeds with me anywhere that I go. And I make it a point, just chew on them, just a small amount, just a teaspoon of it after every meal. It's a miracle digestive ingredient, and you'll do a favor, or our listeners will do a favor to them if they start chewing on them. Just keep it with you and chew on them after your meals. It will work wonders for your digestion. It is the simplest digestive herb or remedy that you can incorporate in your life.
I personally can't start my day without having my herbal teas. So instead of coffee, I make sure that I have my herbal teas. I have a lot of blends that I have made at home for myself, made of, ashwagandha powder, rose, turmeric, homemade blends that I always have every day while working. It really helps me to calm myself down and, really helps me to focus. Other than that, just going for half an hour walk with my dog, with my husband, that also really helps. I look forward to that. So these two things are something that I do every day without failure.
Before we wrap up, I'd like to ask you each about your green pill moments. So we'll start with you, Pritha. Could you share an inspiring or life-changing experience that you have gone through, your green pill moment?
Let me talk about my life-changing experience, and it has to be definitely COVID, the pandemic. I would say, as controversial as it is, because a lot of people have different memories associated with it, it was a turning point for me and a wake-up call, really. I'm sure it's a time that's etched in most of our memories. The world came to a halt. Our health became our most important or precious commodity. And it wasn't just a health crisis. It was like an economic tsunami that impacted so many industries. So many people were left jobless, and families were really torn apart by this ruthless virus. Unfortunately, I had to personally watch my friends, family, extended family and colleagues go through all of this. It actually kind of forced me to confront some really tough questions about my own life choices. I mean, is it really enough to feel sad for others? And what was I personally doing to make a real difference in any way possible? And at that time, chasing the corporate ladder was the biggest dream I had. And was it really bringing me genuine happiness? I believe COVID at that time served as a stark reminder that our health, wealth, job, career, everything, they're all just fragile treasures. And that really was my green pill moment. I mean, that's when I knew I had to hit that restart button and contribute to something more purposeful, something that would genuinely make some sort of difference in people's lives, a purpose that goes beyond the daily grind. So yes, that has been a life-changing, a life-altering moment for me.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And I think, as you mentioned, I think COVID had a big impact on many people to reevaluate their lives and their choices they are making. Now, what about you, Pragya? What was your green pill moment, the action or event that was the turning point for you or your career?
So the turning point in my career came after almost dedicating 6 to 7 years to the field of marketing. When I was working as a marketeer, it had its advantages, definitely. It allowed me to not only excel in marketing, but also gain exposure and collaborate closely with various other departments. And by doing this, it allowed me to learn from both mistakes and successes within the corporate world. However, despite the apparent benefits, I began to really question whether a 9 to 5 job was truly fulfilling me. I was looking for something more, a chance to channel my corporate expertise and create something uniquely my own. So the idea of working for myself, becoming my own boss, pursuing a venture really always intrigued me. So this I can say on behalf of both Pritha and myself. Our upbringing had always revolved around all things natural. Well-being is a topic which is frequently discussed in my family from the very beginning. And it was during a conversation with my sister that we brainstormed the idea of doing something innovative in the wellness market space. So we contemplated how we could leverage our collective experiences gain from our corporate roles and create our own unique venture. So I would say that was definitely a moment of clarity and inspiration, realizing that we could combine our expertise and embark on a journey of entrepreneurship together. So that was my green pill moment.
Thank you both for sharing your stories with us today. Before we say goodbye, could you please tell our listeners where they can find and follow you? And we'll also put this in the show notes.
You can learn more about Mudra through our Instagram. The Instagram handle is Mudra, Mudra.Ayurveda, Ayurveda. You can also visit our website. That's www.putraayurveda.com. You can always write to us or you can WhatsApp us. We have a 24/7 customer support team who will be more than happy to answer any queries, any questions you have regarding the products, regarding Ayurveda as a concept, anything at all. And stay tuned to our Instagram page or subscribe to our newsletters because we will very soon be doing a few pop-ups where you will get a chance to experience the products really before buying them. So, or talk to us personally in those pop-ups. So, thank you.
Was there anything else to add to that, Pragya, or do we have all the contact details?
Yes, you can definitely subscribe to our newsletters by going to our website, and you can avail 10% off as a first-time customer if you subscribe to our newsletters. And if you really want to know more about Ayurveda and its holistic offerings.
Again, thank you so much, ladies, for sharing your wonderful stories with us today and for sharing your wisdom about Ayurveda and some tips for how we can incorporate some of this into our lives. I'm sure our audience will learn a lot from this conversation. I know I have. So thank you again for joining me. I wish you both and Mudra all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you enjoy our conversations, please like and subscribe. See you next Wednesday.